Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. I am Mahanta and today we will continue the class 8 science first chapter crop production and management. So in the last video we have seen how agricultural practices started, what is a crop, what are the different types of crops, that is Rabi crop and Kharif crops. Then we have seen all the agricultural practices or the steps which are carried out by a farmer, that is preparation of soil, sowing of seeds, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protection from weeds, harvesting and storage. So in the last video we had seen preparation of soil, the different implements which are used by farmers, traditional and the modern ones. And we have also seen the sowing of seeds. So we have seen the first two steps in agricultural practices. Today we will see adding manure and fertilizers and irrigation. So adding manure and fertilizer to the field. Now what are manures and fertilizers? Now these are the substances which are added to the soil which provides the nutrients to the plants. Okay, these are the substances which are added to the field to provide nutrients to the plants. So the substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called as manure and fertilizers. So manure are the organic substances which are added in the soil to provide nutrients to the plants, whereas fertilizers are chemical substances. Now why are these manure and fertilizers added to the soil? Now when a farmer grows crop after crop in the same field, now the natural nutrients which are present in the soil will slowly start to deplete, as these nutrients will be used up by each of the crop. Now since the nutrients start to deplete, the soil becomes poorer in certain nutrients. Now the farmer will need to add these or provide these nutrients to the plants for their healthy growth. So why are manure and fertilizers added to the soil? So when crop after crop is grown in the same field, soil becomes poor in certain nutrients. So manure and fertilizers are added to the soil to replenish it. So adding of manure and fertilizers to the soil will replenish the soil with nutrients and it will ensure the healthy growth of plants. So at the end what we want is healthy growth of plant and high yielding crop. So that is why manure and fertilizers are added to the crop. Let us see. So soil supplies mineral nutrients to the crop plants, and these nutrients are essential to the plants. But when the farmers grow crop after crop in the same field, this will get depleted and hence the farmer have to add manure and fertilizers to the field to replenish the soil with nutrients. Now this process of adding manure to the soil is called manuring. So the process of adding manure to the field is called manuring. And also if these manures and fertilizers are not added to the soil, it will result in very weak plant and subsequently a poor yield. So as I have already said, manure is an organic substance that is obtained from decomposition of plant and animal waste. So manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plant and animal waste. Now these farmers, what they do is they will dump the plant and animal waste in a pit. So in their field there will be a pit. So there will be a pit in which all these organic waste will be dumped. and this waste will be allowed to decompose. As we have already learned, the decomposers will feed on these dead or decaying plant and animal waste, and they will decompose it. Now the decomposed matter, this decomposed matter is used as the organic manure. So after the organic matter is decomposed by the decomposers, it is used as a manure by the farmers. So let us see what are the different types of manures that farmers can use. Now the first type is natural organic manure. This includes raw manure and compost. So raw manure is when the farmer mixes domestic waste which is produced in the kitchen or in the house, and it mixes it with the cattle dung. Okay, when the cattle dung and domestic waste are mixed and directly used in the field, it is called as raw manure. It is called as raw manure. Then compost, as I have already said, compost is the rotted plant and animal residue. So it is when the organic waste, the plant and animal residue is completely decomposed by decomposers. So compost is the well-rotted. It is the well-rotted plant and animal residue. So it should be completely decomposed by the decomposers, and then when we use it in the field, it is called as compost. Then the second type of manure that can be used and is getting very popular these days is the biofertilizers. Now what are biofertilizers? These are the nitrogen fixing organisms that are widely used in organic farming. So these are the microorganisms. These are the microorganisms which are widely used in organic farming. Organic farming means the farming or agriculture which is done using all the organic products, organic manure and like that. No chemicals are used in organic farming. So these biofertilizers help in making the agriculture more sustainable. Now let us see what are these biofertilizers. These include rhizobium, the bacteria, azotobacter, then blue-green algae and mycorrhizae. Now these are all the microorganisms which will help to fix nitrogen in the soil, and hence they will help the plants to get or absorb more nitrogen. Then mycorrhizae are a type of fungi that will increase the phosphorus uptake. So this will help the plant to absorb more phosphorus from the soil. Then the third type of manure is vermicompost. As we know and we have learnt in lower classes, it is a type of compost which is made using earthworms. So here in this, the organic waste from or the domestic waste is taken in a vase or a vessel, and it is added to this vessel, and also cow dung can be added, and then the earthworms are added. These earthworms will then eat and release the humus, and then it will form the vermicompost. So now we have seen what is manure and what are the different types of manures. Let us see what are fertilizers. Now we have already read that fertilizers are the substances which are provided to the plants in the form of nutrients for their healthy growth. So fertilizers are chemicals which are rich in a particular nutrient. So these are the chemical substances, and these are rich in a certain type of nutrients. So these fertilizers are produced in factories, and some examples of them are urea, ammonia, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash and NPK. So these are the few examples of fertilizers. Now here NPK, it contains nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So the crop which will need these nutrients, this NPK can be added to that crop. Now the use of fertilizers has helped the farmers to get a better yield over the years. It has helped the farmers to get a better yield of wheat, paddy and maize. But now the excessive or more and more use of these fertilizers has resulted in the soil becoming less fertile. And since these are chemical substances, it also pollutes the water or the groundwater. It pollutes and causes the water pollution. So therefore it is better to use the organic manure than using chemical fertilizers. So it is better to substitute fertilizers with organic manure. Now using manure also improves the soil texture. So when we use manure, organic manure, it will also improve the soil texture and also improve its water retaining capacity. Water retaining capacity means the capacity of the soil to hold water or to retain the water. And we already know that manure will replenish the soil with nutrients. Now another method to replenish the soil with nutrients is crop rotation. Now what is crop rotation? We know that farmers usually grow the same crop on the same land. Now what crop rotation means is you have to grow a different crops alternatively. So earlier the farmers in India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. So if 1 year you grow wheat in your farm, the next year you can grow some legumes. Okay, so now legumes are the plants which will have the presence of rhizobium or the nitrogen fixing bacteria in their roots, and these plants will help in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Now because of this, the plants will have more nitrogen available for their intake. So when we grow wheat and a legume or any other crops and a legume alternatively, this is called as crop rotation, and it will help in fixing the nutrients in the soil. So we have already learned that rhizobium bacteria, this is the rhizobium bacteria which is present in the nodules of roots of leguminous plants. So these are the bacteria which live or which are present in the nodules of roots. Now leguminous plants, the roots of these plants will have these spherical structures called legumes. Okay, called nodules. So these nodules, in these root nodules, these rhizobium bacteria will be present, and they will fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. So they will fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil and make it available for the plants. Now let us see the difference between fertilizers and manure. So fertilizer is a man-made inorganic salt. As we have already read, it is fertilizers are made in factories, so they are man-made inorganic salts. whereas manure is a natural substance obtained by decomposition of cattle dung and plant residues or plant and animal residue. Then fertilizer is prepared in factories, whereas manure is prepared in fields. Then fertilizers do not provide any humus to the soil. Okay, this will only provide the nutrients which are required, but manure will also provide the soil with lots of humus, so it will make the soil more and more fertile. Then fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, whereas manure, they are comparatively less rich in these nutrients. Then the advantages of using manure. Now since these manures are organic, they are considered as better option than the fertilizers, as fertilizers also have harmful effects such as they will make the soil less fertile and also cause water pollution. So manure enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous, due to which the exchange of gases becomes easy, and it increases the number of friendly microbes in the soil, and it also improves the texture of the soil. So these are all the benefits or advantages of using manure in the field. Now let us move on to the next step in the agricultural practices, that is irrigation. Now irrigation is the supply of water to the crops at regular intervals. So when we all know that our crops or the plants will require water for their growth and development. Even for the germination of seed, water is very essential. So the supply of water to the crop at regular intervals is called as irrigation. So as we know that water is very important to live, and it is important for the proper growth and development of the plant. So water is absorbed by the plant roots, along with the water, minerals and fertilizers are also absorbed. And see here, plants contain nearly 90% of water. So nearly 90% of the plants is water. And water is essential because the germination of seeds cannot take place in dry conditions. So as I have already said, even the germination of seed cannot take place without water. So it is very essential in the agriculture. Then the nutrients dissolved in the water are transported to each part of the plant, and it also protects the crop from both frost and hot air currents. To maintain the moisture of the soil for a healthy crop growth, fields have to be watered regularly. So as we have already seen the importance of water to maintain the healthy growth of the crop, the regular watering of plant is very necessary. Let us see here. What is irrigation? It is the supply of water to the crops at regular intervals. So the supply of water to the crops at regular intervals is called as irrigation. Now the time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil and season to season. What this means is the time and frequency. The time meaning at what time in a day the plant should be watered, and the frequency means how repeatedly the plants or the crop should be watered. Now these two factors will vary based on the from different crop to crop. Now one certain crop may require very repeated watering, whereas another crop may not require so much water, and less watering will be enough for its healthy growth. Then soil to soil, also different part in our country will have different soil composition, and season to season. Now for example, in summer season the frequency of watering will be high. So the frequency of watering in summer season is higher. Now why is this? Because in summer season the climate is very hot, and due to this there will be more evaporation and transpiration that will take place. So we need to provide the plants with more and more water during the summer season. Now let us see some sources of irrigation. Now the major sources of water which are used for irrigation are the wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. Now all these are the places from which water is taken for irrigating the agricultural field. Let us see traditional methods of irrigation. So the water available in these wells, lakes and canals is lifted up using different methods in different regions for taking it to the field. Now the water present in these sources needs to be lifted and taken to the agricultural field. Now traditionally this was done mainly by humans or by the use of cattle. So these methods were usually cheaper but less efficient. In these a lot of human labor was required. It was also time consuming and it was not economical, meaning a lot of water was also wasted by using these methods. So the first one is the moat or pulley system. As we can see here, pulley is present at the top of the well, which helps us to pull the water out of the well using a container. Then the second is here the chain pump, then Dekli system which was used, and then the Rahat system or the lever system in which the kettle was used to take the water out from the wells or the canals. Then nowadays pumps are commonly used for lifting the water, and sources of energy which are used to pump the water is diesel, biogas, electricity or solar energy. So these are used to run the pump. So now let us see the modern methods of irrigation. So these modern methods of irrigation help us to use the water economically. What this means is there is no wastage of water, or the water is exactly reaches the plant in the amount which is required by the plant. These are also very efficient method, and they are time consuming because no cattle or human labor is required for irrigating the field in these methods. So the first one is the sprinkler system. So as we can see here in this picture, the sprinkler system is more useful in the uneven land and where the water is not sufficient or the water availability is not sufficient. As we can see here in this, there is a pump on the well which will take the water out from the well, and then there is a network of pipes which will take or carry the water to the field. So the perpendicular pipes which you can see here, the perpendicular pipes which are present are having a rotating nozzle at the top. So this pipe will have a rotating nozzle at the top. Here at the top they will have a rotating nozzle, and these are joined to the main pipeline, and at regular interval when the water is allowed to flow through these pumps, through these pipes under pressure, the water will escape from these rotating nozzles. So it will get sprinkled throughout the field, and it will get sprinkled as if it is raining. So the sprinkler system will sprinkle the water on the crop plants as if it is raining. So these are very useful for watering the lawns, coffee plantation and various other crops too. Then the second modern technique in irrigation is the drip system. Now this drip system is very useful in the places where there is shortage of water or there is inavailability of sufficient water. So in this system the water falls drop by drop directly near the roots of the plants. As we can see here also, similarly there is a well on which the pump is attached, and there is a network of pipes, but here the pipes will carry the water directly to the roots of the plants. So there is minimal wastage of water in this system. So in this system the water falls drop by drop directly to the roots, so it is called as drip system or the drip irrigation system, and it is the best technique for watering fruit plants, gardens and trees. So water is not wasted at all, and it is really a boon in the region where availability of water is poor. So in today's video we have covered the third step, that is adding manure and fertilizer to the fields, and the fourth step, that is irrigation. In the next video we will learn about protection from weeds and the harvesting of crops. So thank you for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe to the Bodhi Academy.